Associate Directors, Senior Officers, and my dear colleagues. Wishing a very happy and healthy morning to everyone gathered here. May I invite Director ADE, Dr. Khadar, and Sri M. Sudhakara, Head HR, to come on to the dais, please. May I request Director to present a bouquet to the Chief Guest, please? Welcome to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request Sri M. Sudhakara, Head HR, to deliver a welcome address, please.
Respected Director, sir, Honorable Guest Dr. Khadar Vali, Associate Directors present, senior colleagues, my friends, and all others who are associated with this program. Very good morning to everyone. Dear friends, today's HR initiative on promoting healthy food and healthy lifestyle habits, an informative talk on healthy living with Siridhanya's aka Millets is organized. I welcome Chief Guest Dr. Khadar to this good gathering. It is found in one of the exhaustive surveys done in the US that about 70% of modern day diseases are psychosomatic diseases, and they are curable without any medicines or chemicals by adopting right attitude, correct food, and good exercises in our lifestyle. In this context, HRD of ADE, with the instigation of our dynamic director, has organized this event on the foods based on millets. When we take a stock of HRD's health situation prevailing in our neighbor country, we are reminded of the proverb in the Kannada. It is said that food is to be taken as medicine to treat hunger, not as a luxury material for our pleasures. On the other hand, as we are seeing in the news clippings, what is happening in our neighbor country, they ate whatever not to be eaten, they did whatever not supposed to be done, including South Africans, and consequences are, we got so many diseases which are not supposed to come to human beings. A human being is basically herbivorous and structured for vegetarian food assimilation. Earlier generations in different continents adopted specific food lifestyle and lived healthily for centuries, but suddenly there is a flood of food production in countries like South Africa, South America or America, including Australia also. Commercial interests took over, excess food was exported to intercontinental countries. India also got cheaply imported items like wheat, soya, sugar and tomato. Almost all these foods are only 120 years old, exposed to Indians. Meanwhile, local people also saw the cheapness and taste of the exotic foods. They are convenient also to use. Then they neglected the ethnic foods such as millets and native vegetables, native grains. That very fact we changed over to new foods disturbed our natural life cycle. As we are aware that our bodies are genetically programmed for specific foods. But when new food grains started harming our health in various ways, especially aggravating diseases such as diabetes, blood pressure and obesity, fortunately, we have many among us who are trying to counter the effects of exotic foods and bring the positive benefits based on traditional food, particularly millets, also called as the Siridhanyas or nowadays 9 millets. Our chief guest, Dr. Khadar is one among them, who has worked very hard and brought in old age traditional millets to our dining tables. He has popularized these millets. Even our own food, we were asking what do you mean by millets. Even today also many of us do so. This is going to be, I am hopeful that it is going to be most useful and beneficial talk, interactive talk rather than millets. Not only millets we have to take, there is a method to take also. I think hopefully our chief guest will solve all our doubts and encourage us to get into good health. I welcome once again all of you, our chief guest. Without taking much time between him and the audience, I conclude my welcome speech. I request Ms. Uma to continue the event further. Thank you very much.
Please on the dais. The August gathering in this beautiful Samiksha auditorium. I am overjoyful and got the lifetime opportunity to introduce a living legend, Dr. Khadar, the millet man of India, to this August gathering. Dr. Khadar is born in Prodhattur, Kadapa district of the then undivided part of Andhra Pradesh and completed his graduation and post-graduation in Science from Regional College of Education, Mysore. Obtained doctorate from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore by submitting thesis on steroids microbial transformation in the year 1986. Postdoctoral study for 4 years on toxic chemicals level in the environment and separating them out without endangering the environment at the Environmental Science Department of Portland University, USA. Works for about 2 years at CFTRI Mysore in the Department of Biochemistry and Nutrition, and circumstances and the atmosphere in the institute forced him to leave the job. Serves at DuPont USA for about 5 years. During this period, he introspects about the happenings on many things related to human health and food habits. Just while joining DuPont, he was supposed to submit a medical certificate for which he visits a nearby hospital. Here he sees a very rare phenomena that just a 6-year-old child had become menstrual, and he got stunned seeing that, and this very incident changes his views and thought process for the rest of his life. After serving at Mrs. DuPont for about 5 years, he resigns from the job and comes back to India and started serving common man, choosing Mysore as his karma bhumi. He purchases a barren land near Bidaralli at HD Kote in Mysore district and implements jungle farming. Dr. Khadar is from a very humble family background, studied under street light and was non-vegetarian till he was 15 years old. And since then he left eating non-vegetarian, and from that time he was always thinking about eating and diet habits of normal human beings. He is also a homeopathic practitioner and treated thousands and thousands of patients and visits tribal villages near Bidaralli, HD Kote, Mysore district in the weekend. Any ordinary person can easily understand his explanation about biological proceedings in our digestive system once the food is gulped down into our mouth. Starting from our children using toothpaste to clean their teeth in the early morning, to drinking milk before going to bed. Dr. Khadar explains how bad these things are for children. Why most of the children are bulky in USA, and why many children suffer from various diseases. Dr. Khadar has answered as well as clear-cut solution for all these things. He will bluntly disagree with the doctors about naming the chronic diseases simply as lifestyle diseases. Dr. Khadar's argument is CM of a state, a citizen, a village man, living in the tribal villages, all are getting BP, sugar, etc. and you simply name them as lifestyle diseases. He questions, is the lifestyle of all these people are same? Till now, I don't think any doctor would have come back to him with answers. He also narrates that by growing sugarcane, paddy, wheat, coffee, tea, meat, how much environment we are spoiling. By growing all these things, what are all its bearings on this mother earth? There would be no start or stop telling about this man, Dr. Khadar, with a hope that we will start a new beginning after hearing to his lecture. I am ending my speech conveying my special thanks to Director ADE for taking this excellent initiative in calling Dr. Khadar for addressing all of us. Thank you all, and Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you, Mr. Murthy. We all know that health is greatest wealth, and to lead a healthy and happy life, what must be our diet? How Siridhanya or millets play a major role to improve our overall health. To share his knowledge and experience, Dr. Khadar, Millet Man of India, is here with us, and I request him to address all of us, please. Sir, the stage is yours. I request Director and Head HR to take their seats in front seats, please.
Good morning to everyone, and thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to come and speak to people who apparently are defending our country, because there is no defense when Corona hits you. China has more missiles than anyone else on this planet, but they do not know what to do. So, the real defense is not elsewhere, it's from within. You've got to be strong. So, we have to become completely strong from within. And the real dangers now for the whole planet is not from one another, it is from within, as Chinese have found out. In fact, these incidents have been happening all along. The nature has been giving signals, but we are so dumb that we are not even deciphering these signals. Swine flu has happened, H1N1, SARS, dengue, many these Ebola, all kinds of things are happening, but human race is in this system-driven living, and they are not in a position to recognize all these signals. And it's high time we recognize. I hope China leads the way to the human race, that living properly is the only defense, not doing damages to the nature. So everyone's attention has to be brought down to where you are living, how you are living, and what you are doing. All this is fine, missiles, machines. It looks very gaudy and everything looks hunky-doky, and all this technology, and you all patting yourselves and all that. But then nothing works when nature hits you. What is your defense? What is your defense? Now, America can go down, China can go down, India can go down, everyone can go down. It is lucky that these virulent viruses are becoming non-virulent because of genetic mutations. Can happen this way or that way. So, we are not safe because the viruses are becoming non-virulent. You got to have the defense from within. You got to be strong. Whatever may be the virus, you should be able to face it. So, this is the signal that the nature is giving you. Sir, we are going to send some more virulent viruses in future. Corona is nothing. Corona has already come and gone. So many people think this is bio-war, this war, all that doesn't matter, whatever it is. Once virus is in, you are out. So this coronavirus also, the virulency will go down by itself because it is built in nature. But what if we have more virulent variety coming up in future, maybe next 2 years or 3 years, 5 years? So don't say, hey, people are eating the way they are eating. See, every human being should be herbivores, as I don't know his gentleman's name. Yes, Sudhakar clearly mentioned. Scientifically, till now human race has not figured out that we should be eating plant-based food, and we continue to sell and make meat in large scale, unscientifically, and then facing this trouble. In fact, we are hastening the process of viral productions. Oh, this spying and this so-called horrible mentality of human beings, that we want war, we want to kill each other, we want to do this, we want to do so, biological warfare. whether it is biological warfare or missile warfare or this warfare, that warfare. The whole thing is war, doesn't matter. So whether it's atomic warfare, or it's all, for me it's one and the same. Just like that, now Chinese are eating bats, Chinese are eating snakes, Chinese are eating dogs. That's why this is happening. As if you are not eating, you are eating chicken, you are eating goat, you are eating sheep, you are eating pig, you are eating cow. So you are used to eating chicken, so nothing seems to bother you. It's all just your habit. But for a fellow like me who has not eaten anything for the last 50 years, you are all the same. Whether you eat snake or whether you eat bat or whether you eat chicken, whether you eat goat. Oh, goat you can eat, no problem. You cannot eat cat, why not? What's the problem? When you can eat goat, when you can eat cow, when you can eat pig. And these Americans, other than pig and, oh, how do they eat dogs? Because they have pets. The dogs are pets. So it's all culturally you are trained to love some animal and to kill some animal. There's no difference. So whether you eat chicken or whether you eat cat, whether you eat rat, and there are some people who eat rats. And in Norway you go, they hunt whales and eat. They are somewhere in the ocean, you go around because you have technology. So it is this unscientific habits that the human race has developed, that they are killing themselves. The viruses are developed because we are growing the meat in large quantities, whether it is cat, rat, bat or pig. And the sad story is places like India, we have problems of how to kill the animal. You kill from the top, you kill from below. You have halal, you have no halal. How does it matter? The animal is being killed. It's not for you. Did you ask the animal? Did you ask the animal? And all this is unscientific. And no scientist is coming out and telling that it is not science. And we are thinking science is producing some machines and missiles and then we call ourselves. But we have to eat every day and that has to be scientific. And the so-called scientific man has not figured out what is to be scientific and not to be scientific. Because he is producing milk in the name of perfect food and making their kids drink. The most unscientific thing that is there in this world, anything, according to me, is that you are feeding your kids some other animal's milk. And what is milk? We have not defined till now. Milk is the most unstable product that is produced by a mammal to feed its baby, not your baby. So you, the woman who has the breast, has to produce the milk through their nipple, directly deliver it to the mouth of the baby, and that is the definition of milk. So you have not defined what milk is, and you are bringing it after homogenizing, pasteurizing, keeping it in the cold, after 10 days in a plastic sachet, and then making it into the bottle, and then have a plastic nipple, and then feed your baby after adding a ton of sugar in that. And then you call yourself scientific. All things you have done now are the most unscientific things that anyone can do. And the same mother, if she gives birth another baby, the 2-year-old, the earlier baby, cannot drink the milk that the same breast produces, because that milk is not meant for the first baby, it is meant for the second baby. And all said and done, the gene that digests the milk gets switched off in the babies, even the mother's milk, by 3 years or 3.5 years. That means no human being should be taking any milk at any point of time. So through time immemorial, a lot of things have happened. So we should, even milk is non-vegetarian. That's what I am trying to communicate to you guys. But everyone on this planet is belige, morning, coffee, tea. The most traded product is coffee, and then you have milk and sugar going tons and tons of disappearing. And to produce coffee and tea, we have denuded all the forests in the world, be it Western Ghats, be it Himalayas, be it Brazilian, be it anywhere on the planet, we have just denuded all the forests and have got coffee and tea. So now Kerala got drenched or whatever, flooded or whatever word I want to use. It's because you are all drinking coffee and tea. Now I just recently went to Bangalore. While going, the bettas, the mountains are moving in Madikeri, village. They are not there, they are just moving because there is no forest to hold the soil. And still we haven't got the message that we should stop drinking coffee. No, actually after these events, the coffee consumption has increased. The milk consumption has increased. And we have become so dumb, so much so that we are producing now milk artificial. See, all this genetic engineering, producing one cow producing 20 liters, 25 liters is gone now. We are going to produce milk through chemicals. The technologies are discovered, and the centralized way of making food is gaining strength, and that is the saddest and the most unscientific thing that you can do. So the whole world is eating rice, wheat and sugar and eggs. No scientist in the world is able to stand up and say, hey, this is not the way we should eat. Not even a single fellow till today. How scientific we are. And everyone is getting Nobel Prize in biochemistry. What are they getting Nobel Prize for? They have been discovering drug after drug, managing the diabetes. But we have cured by now lakhs of diabetic patients. And the word diabetes, the word cancer, the word HIV, all are internally we are screwing up our metabolism. So unless you change that, there is no cure for any of these diseases. And the proof of it is lying right in front of you. You have BP, go to doctor, whether in America or England or Australia or in India, answer is the same. Take this tablet. How long? Lifelong. You have thyroid problem. How long? Lifelong. Rheumatism problem. How long? Lifelong. Is there any disease that these guys are curing? Simple cold, cough, they cannot manage. Because we are pumping series of antibiotics into a small baby's throat. By the age of 5, we have had 10 series of antibiotics, which is the most unscientific thing that you can do. Because it is scaling up of the microbial populations in the system. And without microbes, without gut microbes, you are not what you are. See how unscientific the world has been. And we keep calling ourselves science. So, till recently, till let's say 50, 60 years ago, the world has been running on religion. Now the world is running on something called science. And there is no difference according to me. Just a matter of word being different, but the world is running unscientifically. In the name of religion, people ate meat. In the name of religion, people drank alcohol. So January 2nd, we had news, Bangalore earned 8 crores one night. I thought the next day health minister will come and scold the newspaper. No, the next day 8 IAS officers, a committee is appointed to see that the next year the money is increased. Can you believe this? This has happened. I am not. It so happens it happened in Karnataka. And the story is not different other places. It's the same. and we call ourselves scientific. And to produce 1 liter of liquor, we need to have minimum of 30,000 liters of water. And we still claim we are living on science. 1 kilo of rice, 8,000 liters of water. 1 kilo of sugar, 28,000 liters of water. 1 kilo of meat, 50,000 liters of water. And we are all producing this in the name of science, in the name of biotechnology. And making yourself, all of your eating, rice, wheat, milk, eggs, and everything is made in a centralized fashion. Industrial food culture, human race has entered in the last 30-40 years. And no one, no scientist, no biologist has questioned this. Why? If only we question, we get the answers. Corona virus, what it does in 3 days, we are doing it to more than 20% of human race. That is called cancer. Viruses, chemicals, go into our body and change our systems. And that's what this cancer is all about. Punjab, Raichur, Singapore, wherever these chemicals are being used in large quantities, huge amounts of people are cancerous. Not only in India, you go to China, you go to America, you go to any place where these chemicals, herbicides and pesticides are being used, and the way they are producing milk and meat. So the cancerous condition, see what is coronavirus or some other viral infectious diseases, they are going to play it out in a matter of 2-3 days or 1 week in your body. Cancer happens slowly and steadily. And these doctors, I don't have any one in particular. This whole allopathic system is not telling the truth. It is the way you are eating. What you are eating is causing all these troubles. No doctor in the world says, stop milk. Actually, I would want to put it other way around. If the human race stops drinking milk tomorrow, why human race? Just DRDO, whatever your organization. There are many DRDOs, I get confused. Everything is defense laboratories. How many people are 10,000 people in this place? If you all stop drinking milk from tomorrow onwards, next 6 months, we will not visit doctor at all. What I am trying to communicate is, that is the basis of your disease. Because you have crossed the hormonal balance that is being disturbed by milk and milk alone. Just the milk alone is causing the most fundamental imbalances of human body. So if you stop taking milk in any form, that is, nowadays you need protein, whey protein, all these Shah Rukh Khans and fellows, movies financed by these companies, 6-pack, 10-pack like this, and then everyone is running into gyms, including ladies. I don't know why everyone should go and show off their 6-packs and 10-packs. This is the trick that they are using to use their chemicals, their products. And all of a sudden, people started eating paneer, low protein, this one, as if not enough drinking 1 liter of milk itself is dangerous. Now you take 10 liters and concentrate and make quarter kilo paneer and eat. How much more hormone imbalance you are creating? So what has it resulted? We are not able to decipher this. Actually, there were not so many bald heads 50 years ago. Now 50 years later, you see almost everyone is bald. Even 20-year-old boys are bald. It's not just the bald head, it is the sperms that have disappeared underneath. 120 million used to be the average. Now, the so-called diagnostics labs are writing 20 millions are okay. So the hormonal imbalance is what is the reason why you have all these problems. If it happened in the men like this, the women, the mustache started appearing on women, 40-year-old, 20-year-old, 30-year-old. No problem, beauty parlors. Let's run to beauty parlors. Scheduling. Oh, we have flashlight, we have laser, treating all these hormonal imbalances. Don't mistake me for being sarcastic. I do not know how else to put it across to people. Because you are not even recognizing that these are the imbalances. And if this has happened to you, what has happened to the kids? Kids have started menstruating at the age of 6. The other day I had a kid, a 3-year-old kid, menstruating, and these great doctors could do all that they could do is give another steroid to the baby. It is the steroid imbalance that has resulted in this. It's not one case. Millions of women are suffering from this hormonal imbalance. Millions. And no one cares because we are all stuck in this system. And these doctors go on rambling. This is lifestyle disease, this is genetic disease, this is that disease. Why? They are all embedded in this system that they cannot say the truth. Sadly, I actually released a small video about coronavirus saying that if you were to be a vegetarian, you would not worry about all this. And my video is taken off from YouTube. That's what I'm talking about, system. You cannot take the truth. And believe me, all your problems, so-called diabetes, so-called cancer, so-called thyroid, all are fake. Because you are living on fake knowledge, fake food, fake life. Fake. All these fellows are fake. These doctors, these libraries, this knowledge is all fake because it's all created on something absolutely not natural, not scientific. If some fellow in America says that is true, can you believe we have KFCs, McDonald's all over the world? Can you not figure this out? This is business. And what has happened to our heads, our doctors, our knowledge, our systems? This is the reason why I came back. Because everything was bogus according to me. In the name of science, we are running around not having hair and women having hair where they are not supposed to have. We have disturbed nature. We are not understanding. These are all the signals. And we are not sensitive. A 6-year-old girl menstruates. Till today, no one talks. Despite my speaking about it for the last 20 years, in all platforms, I have gone and talked, rambled like this for thousands of places. And the media doesn't want to talk. Media doesn't want to write about it. It is women who are suffering, it is men who are suffering, but we all are throwing things under the carpet. Forget about cancer, forget about diabetes, forget about all this can be just taken care of like this. If my mind, in a matter of 6 months, I can eliminate cancer, I can eliminate diabetes, I can eliminate thyroid. Absolutely not even existing on this planet. We can have all the people not have diabetes. All the people in the world should not have cancer. All the people need not have even headache. If only you eat right. All over the world people can be healthy. Because fundamental, basic concept of food being health giver is completely out of the window in the whole knowledge streets. There is no one who is telling if your food is right, there is no need of medicine. If your food is wrong, no medicine works. And many people think if you should eat food like medicine, medicine should be all. That is also not true. If medicine word comes, means you are sick. Why should you be sick at at all to start with? Is the question. That means we, till now, in the last 50, 60 years, we have been completely convoluted by this so-called scientific world, that they are taking care of us by discovering medicine after medicine, medicine after medicine. Millions and zillions of dollars being spent on this stupid research. Don't mistake me for using these words. As I see it, it is stupid. Because if you do not know what you are eating, what is the point in talking about all the diseases? So we have actually helped thousands and thousands, why thousands, lakhs, why lakhs, crores. People can cure themselves, they have cured themselves of diabetes, thyroid, including cancer. In the last 2-3 years I have been talking about cancer because I, being alone, could not start everything in one go. So now we have actually communicated to all the people at large how to cure themselves of diabetes, how to cure themselves of thyroid, how to cure themselves of these various so-called lifestyle diseases, obesity and all that. Now the so-called cancer is also not a big thing if only you know what you are doing. And all are suffering. In fact, the sad story for me is that I go and give lectures. While I go to my car, people come and hold my hand, sir, my cancer is cured. He is telling in my ears because he doesn't want others to know that he had cancer. Because the systems are like that. I said, why is he doing this? He said, if I say I have cancer, my daughter cannot get married. My granddaughter cannot get married. The problem for me is I have cured thousands of cancer patients. I cannot say I have cured. Because they don't want to come and I don't like testimonials. No one should be giving testimonials to me. This testimonials is a show. It's a reality show. The doctor sitting, some patient comes, oh, I was not like this, I am now like this. What kind of show is it? It's not curing one or two. We have systems that everyone can be healthy. We should be wiping out all these diseases. In fact, I have told long back, 10 years ago itself, that my dream is, after 50 years, the kids should become, oh, my grandmother seems they had some disease called cancer, they had some disease called BP or something. In that situation, that time zone we can create if all of us start working now. We have not worked on the health field. We have been working on disease, sickness. So all these guys are healthcare industry, healthcare. What health are they taking care of? They are taking care of unhealth. I call it sickness industry. This is all sickness industry. We need to shift from sickness industry to health industry. And health industry is not industry. It has to be individual, group, that is decentralization. So I just use the word so that you come from that to this, and it is not on an industrial basis you have health. You have health on local, regional, family, individual basis. So the whole domain, the focus has to shift. So why did we lose health? Because we left it in the kitchen. Now, on Zomato you are ordering, you do not know who is making, what is coming. You are eating on the roads, in the junctions. And that's why you are sick. So the health depends in your activities, on your activities in the kitchen, not the doctor's operation tables. So they have made an industry. Your knee is not all right. We will remove one, buy one, get one free. See if they put. What kind of nonsense are these guys talking? All in the name of science and technology, you understand this? High-tech, multi-speciality hospitals. Nonsense. And they are not going to take it if I say that is nonsense. Because they are all got Nobel Prizes, big awards, big things. This is the system. They have not helped a single individual out of pain. They can only give you a painkiller, but they cannot remove the pain. But just now, as I was driving, the driver said, "Sir, I had chikungunya and I still have a problem. Every day, if only I take a tablet, I can walk." That means they have not done anything to you. I told him, just eat foxtail millet and brown top millet. In 6 weeks, your pain will go away. There will be no pain at all. This is the problem with the doctors. Then, allopathy doesn't work. We have homeopathy, will cure you. I'll give you homeopathy medicine. No, homeopathy doesn't. I give naturopathy. Oh, no natural, I give tautopathy. All these pathis do not work unless you change your food. As long as you're eating rice, meat, milk and eggs, the pain keeps generating. So nothing works, I'll go to Tirupati. God. So all these pathis, you will become Draupadi. Nothing happens. Don't mistake me, I am not ridiculing the medical systems. They are managing at the most. At the most, all these so-called MD, MS people are all selling the medicines created by these pharmacies. Little more, if they are so-called surgeons, they are selling the technologies. So, all these guys are reduced to agents of selling drugs or selling the technologies, nothing more. They are not giving health to anyone. With all due respects, this is the way I see it, the present condition. So, no human being is offered health by anyone. You want health? Go to your kitchen. Cook the right food. And then you will be healthy. The problem here is, your wife doesn't work. She works in housewife. So the human race has started degrading people who work in the house. As if it is not right. This is being built up by the industrial food culture. This is being built up by industrial food culture. And you are making all missiles, and is beyond missiles. The money, the politics of food is beyond arms. I don't know whether people recognize that or not. Because you don't consume missiles on a daily basis. You consume milk, eggs, sugar on a daily basis. So the food politics is what is ruling the industrial food culture. So you have lost health because of industrial food culture. So how do you get out of it? Unless you get out of industrial food culture, you have no health on this planet. This is highly dangerous path that we are treading. Because while doing this, missiles only kill other things, but this industrial food culture has killed the planet itself. Almost killed the planet. So in fact, we can afford to have 10 atomic wars. The damage is not much. But what we are doing now in the name of food culture is 1,000 times worse than that. And that's how we are living right now. Why am I talking all this? Is people are not sensitive enough to understand what is going on. That's why I'm trying to give you this kind of images. But the sad part is, just now I went to the simulation room. Our director was kind enough to send me there. I think you all guys know that only when you see through the eyes, 98% of our perceptions are through the light and the eyes. So what I'm trying to ask you is to imagine all this situation, but which is real. So I have to bring in to you the images. I'm trying to simulate for you that 10 atomic wars are not equivalent to you eating egg or drinking milk. This damage is much less than this. I'm trying to communicate that to you. It is always good to have visuals. I wish I had visuals showing that in this big screen. Atomic war, and then you feeding your mother and stuff. The nipple feeding the baby, you have the water, the milk bottle putting into the mouth. And that's more dangerous than this 10 atomic wars. You understand the significance of what I'm trying to communicate to you guys? But then, now you will go and have a cup of coffee. After listening to this guy. You better go and have a cup of kashayam, tulasi or parijata or people leaf. That is naturalist way of living. In fact, we have cured most of these cancerous conditions with 10 or 15 kashayams and then wonderful Siridhanya, 5 grains that appear. Hundreds of thousands of completely not. Many people come and ask me, hey, don't claim you have cured cancer. I said, I am not claiming. I am saying it is decimated, completely out of your body. 2 to 3 years. In fact, the body regenerates, reinvents, replenishes itself in 7 years. Every cell in my body is not at all the same as I was 7 years ago. Your hemoglobin replenishes itself in 3 months. Now, skin almost on a regular basis. So each and every cell is new, regenerating itself. So in 7 years you are new. That means there is a room for you to heal completely whatever problems you have. Even if it is from genetically disordered condition. We have had the good luck of healing so-called DMD, muscular dystrophy. You know, it's a very funny disease, very rare disease. The muscles and the nerves start losing their coordination, and people who are hit with muscular dystrophy, their muscles start stealing away, they just fall off. And lucky if they are connected to only muscles of the motor skills, but what happens, it enters into the heart also. Heart muscles also get into this muscular dystrophy, then your heartbeat each year starts going down. So a person reached 35 to 50, in that age you are very sick. You cannot get up because the blood is not being pumped to various places. So we had a case of 41, 42 heartbeat person, DMD. Now his heartbeat is 69 and he is walking 8 kilometers in a matter of 1.5 hours. You should clap. I'm trying to communicate to you guys that diseases of various dimensions, deep-rooted so-called genetic disorders also can be corrected if your food is right. Your food is right. Because each and every cell has to be replenished. And while being replenished, if you supply the right material and the right information, you can get regenerated and a healthy human being. In fact, this was the story of many thousands of people who knew what to eat. In fact, that was the beginning, rather the basis of Utaballavaniga Rogavilla. It's actually a profound statement. It's a profound statement. Kannada, if people know Utaballavaniga Rogavilla. That means, what are they declaring? They are declaring there is no disease. If you know, Bhojana, Uta is what you eat. It is such a profound statement. Uta Ballavanige Rogavilla. If you know your food, you will have no disease. That means we do not know what food is. Because the whole human race is suffering with some disease or the other, some sickness or the other. And there are instances where in the past many great individuals knew what they were eating. It is not how long you live, it is how well you live. Because living on this planet is not connected to food. Life and death are nothing to do with food. They are different. But roga, the disease, is connected to the food. So if you want to eliminate disease, you should know what your food is. So without knowing food, you see, I have gone to America, I have seen Russia, I have seen China, all the medical colleges curriculum I have gone through. Not only India, all medical colleges, nowhere, no one speaks about food. Sir, please, I request you not to use your phone. So without having food in your curriculum, how can these guys talk about health? We need to understand that food is basis for health. So we need to know what food is. So if you want to know what food is, you should know the hardware that is given by God, mouth to anus. What happens there? What happens? You eat something, it is digested and releases glucose into your blood. And that is what is called digestion. Why do we need glucose to be released into the blood? The blood takes this glucose to different cells, and then the different cells burn this glucose and produce what is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is a battery-like molecule which gives energy to our living. So if you want to live, you have to burn glucose in each and every cell, and then it releases some metabolites which have to be removed on a daily basis. When you do something, you produce some waste, and that waste has to be removed. So what is food now? Food has to release glucose into your blood, and then it is to be burnt, and whatever dirt or toxic metabolites, if it is not removed, it becomes toxic. So we live, we generate dirt, dust, and in the house we accumulate, keep accumulating. We have to go away from the house because we cannot live with the dirt. So remove. So if you are living 60 years, you have to throw away, and that's what is shit, that's what is your urine, that's what is your sweat, that's what the carbon dioxide that you are releasing on a breath by breath. So the dirt has to be removed on a daily basis. So both of these concepts, if you are not understood, that means to burn, you need glucose. After the glucose burning, you need to clean. These two things have to happen, and that is the essence of food. So to clean, you need a jadu in the house. What is the jadu in your food? The food itself should have the jadu. and that is fiber. So in the last 40-50 years, the human race has removed fiber from its food. So no jadu, only dumpling. The egg, the meat, the rice, the wheat, because it is producing glucose all right. And how does it produce glucose? It is dumping into your blood in large quantities. We want energy, but we are putting large quantities of glucose. So, but each cell can only burn so much. If I walk 1.5 hours, I burn 5 grams of glucose. But then early morning, what am I doing? I am taking milk, I am taking sugar, I am taking coffee, I am taking gulab jamun, I am eating idlis, as if this is not enough. Pepsi, Shah Rukh Khan asked us to drink Coke, Amir Khan asked us to drink Salman Khan, thumbs up. So all Khans, we are all, keep drinking Pepsis, Cokes, and each Coke has 45 grams of sugar. So within 2 minutes you pump 25 grams of glucose into your blood. So on a daily basis, each fellow, whether a small boy or a girl or a big fellow, minimum of 150 grams of glucose you are putting in. What does the body do? It has to take care of this glucose. So it tries to convert it into cholesterol, glycogen, meat, fat, everything, because there is some genetic code information how to convert this excess glucose into different, because everything has to be from glucose only first. It is the ultimate energy molecule. In fact, the whole world depends on glucose, because that is the first molecule on this planet made by plant as an energy molecule. The whole world. So the whole living systems on this planet run on glucose. It is the material on which the energy is transferred this way or that way. So from carbon dioxide and the water, you make glucose in the chlorophyll molecule, you burn it on hemoglobin molecule. Chlorophyll and hemoglobin are absolute sisters. You remove magnesium and put iron, it becomes hemoglobin. You take hemoglobin, remove the iron and put magnesium, it becomes chlorophyll. Copy. What did we do? In the name of producing more and more meat, we made soya bean, which we have controlled through herbicide. And this herbicide kills the chlorophyll synthesis. So, the genetically modified soybean has got a gene which can destroy the herbicide, and hence the soybean alone works, generates the leaves. Other plants do not generate the leaves. So the glyphosate that you spray in soybean field kills all the chlorophyll on this field. But because the soybean leaf has been given another gene which can degrade this glyphosate, chlorophyll of soybean leaf alone leaves, all the other things die. And that's why you produce high amount of soybean, bring it, mix it with corn, this sweet corn, that American corn, and feed the animals. Which animal? Your pig, your dog, your chicken, and then you want to eat that. That means what? You are carrying on this glyphosate. So you eat 1 kilo of chicken, 1 kilo of dog, 1 kilo of pig, whatever. It doesn't matter, because they are all being fed with the same. In China, in America, in New Zealand, in India, everything is same. Same oxytocin injection, same estrogen injection, same electric shock. 2-3 months your chickens have to become 3 kilos. 3 months your pigs have to become 300 kilos. 6 months your cows have to become 600 kilos. You feed 8 kilos of this mix. So 8 kilos of soybean and corn mix contains approximately 8 milligrams of glyphosate. So you eat 1 kilo of any meat anywhere in the world, when McDonald's or KFC or submarine, whatever, sub sandwiches. Whatever you eat, wherever you eat, all names are different. You are consuming these chemicals which can go on. What can this lifestyle do to you? It can hit your bone marrow and see that your blood hemoglobin is not synthesized. Why hemoglobin? Why are you talking about hemoglobin? Because it is the sister molecule of chlorophyll. You see the connection. So you are all told soybean milk is good. Who is telling this? Through doctors, through so-called cinema stars, so-called, if not cinema stars, Messi will come and tell. If not Messi, Kohli will come and tell. If not Kohli, Kapil Dev will come and tell. This continue on. You are never spared. Boost energy, other way around, energy of, secret of my energy. I am getting confused. And so all your kids want boost. What is there in that? Some of these products. So, are you buying disease or health? And you see why 8-year-old, 6-year-old kids are having bone cancer and blood cancer. The number of cancerous conditions, kids are increasing. Just you draw the line, the graph, you will see parallel lines. Eggs increased, dialysis units increased. Soybean increased, meat increased, cancer cases increased. And no doctor, no scientist, no companies, no universities, no one wants to talk about these things. No one. No one is interested in talking about these things. It's high time we all talk about these things. How can I say with so much certainty? With all humbleness, I have been treating all the people who come to me. In fact, I am a very, very popular doctor. The last 20 years, I must have seen 2 lakh, 3 lakh people. Every day, I see hundreds of patients, out of which I have so-called these big diseases. So-called, I use the word intentionally, so-called cancer, so-called, because we have been able to help many of them. Just, I have no medicines to give you. Just correcting them, the way they eat, the way they cook, the way they do things. As simple as this. Can you believe this? That we don't need medicines even to cure cancer, HIV, DMD. Doesn't it sound very odd for you? I know you are all under shock, isn't it? When I say it is so simple. But do we have the will to shift from this stupid industrial food culture? The word stupid is consciously used. Don't mistake me. I am being very abrasive and aggressive if you people think so. I am not actually. It is stupid. People think, many people have told me, you should not use that word there. I said, I am being very, very scientific. I am very, very humble. I am not aggressive. I am not abrasive. If this is not stupid, what else can be stupid? Because we have got our kids menstruating at the age of 6. Now the number has increased to 40%. In America, the average age of women, the girls, I see, you don't know whether the women or kids. 8-year-olds, 60% are menstruating. And the moment we have imported these foods and food habits, our girls are also menstruating at the age of 8, 9, 10 now. No one is waiting till the age of 14, 15, which is natural. And these so-called scientists have reduced the sperm count to be normal at the 20 million counts. And in Germany, there are no kids born. There are no kids born. The average age is now 51 or something. So all these things are happening and we don't want to take any action. Why action? We don't want to even think about it. See, when I say don't, you go and drink, no, we'll drink without milk. Oh, as if caffeine is good for you. It's caffeine, it's an alkaloid, for heaven's sake. It removes your nervous balance. If you stop taking that caffeine, nights you can sleep through completely, because nowadays 30-year-old boys are getting up in the night to urinate once in 3 hours, once in 4 hours. That's all because there are false signals that you have your urine bladder complete. Go on. There is no urine to come out, but still there is a signal. Why all these troubles? We have attached bathrooms. Near the bed we have building toilets. Can you believe this? You are sleeping with a place there to shit. And we call it advanced. Attached to bathrooms. Why all these troubles? In Japan, they have a toilet under the bed. You press the button and the robot is. Why all the troubles getting up, going into the toilet? You should be able to hold your urine, hold your sperm. No, forget about holding your urine. Just see the girls, people are ejaculating. It's gone. Many men suffer through these problems. That's why you need Viagra. It's $1 billion business. See, all these things have happened. I am not creating all this. I am trying to connect you through these dots. Why is this happening? Because we are all living in industrial food culture. Forget about all that. This is called toilet. Forget about toilet. There was no toilet before. This is called malasan. Hundreds of years ago, it is described with a beautiful form. This is called, you sit on your toes and your heels touch the buttocks. And if you practice this, a lot of things happen. I am not going into that. I am just telling the common sense. So your anus opens and shit comes out. But what do? We follow the stupid Westerners. Of course, we have become idiots. That's a separate issue. It just doesn't come. You are pushing the pressure up. Every day in the morning, you have to release your tension. First thing you do is go and sit there. Why first thing? Throughout the night. See, to urinate it is easy, not to shit. But Indian toilet has disappeared in India. It's not there. So what do we need to do to our kids? To teach them how to sit on your toes. Forget about sitting on toes. I cannot sit like this. "20-year-old, 30-year-olds are not able to sit properly." So this is what health is all about. You understand what I am talking? And these wonderful grains are designed to our guts in every sense. And luckily these 5 fellows can remove all the imbalances that we have created through this industrial food culture, be it hormonal imbalance, microbial imbalance, glucose imbalance. All the 3 imbalances can be removed by these wonderful grains. This is called Kodo millet, brown top millet. This is called little millet, and this is barnyard. This is Kodo, this is little, this is foxtail. This has 8% of fiber, completely internalized with the carbohydrate from the center of the grain to the periphery of the grain. We have 8% of fiber associated with the carbohydrate. So you want carbohydrate into your blood, you got to fight the fiber. Remove it slowly and steadily. And beautiful thing is that this has 8, this has got 9.8, this has got 9, this has got 10, this has got 12.5. This millet was, of course, all the millets were extinct. In fact, this is called foxtail millet, this is called little millet, this is called Kodo millet, this is barnyard, and this is brown top. Actually, this is called American millet. Brown top is American millet. Barnyard is actually Japanese or German millet. This is Himalayan millet. It is actually called Chinese millet some places. This is called African millet. This is Italian millet. That means in the Alps and the surroundings of the open places of Italian mountains, this was grown in enormous amounts. All the people ate this. And it's also called Spanish millet, Italian and Spanish, all those Spain and Italy, all those things. This is African millet. I went to Nigeria just 6 months back. I had to give them the seeds. I went to Italians, they don't have anything like this. This is our Himalayan millet. Even now Chhattisgarh and all that Sikkim, the tribals are still growing this. This is barnyard millet called Japanese millet, Udalo. And this is American millet. Even now they are growing, but they are feeding their birds. That's why I call they are stupid. We are idiots. And this, no seeds are there in the world. So in 1987, as soon as I went into America, I first met a girl menstruating at the age of 6. Then within a week, everything flashed in front of my eyes. And that's how I came running back. By the time I came back, everything has come earlier than me. The damage is done in India also. Luckily, the seeds of these grains have not disappeared, but the names have disappeared. People don't know what these are because the farmers have been cheated by this so-called green revolution and scientists. And even today, the damage is done. In fact, day before yesterday, Hindu newspaper writes, these millets, because you cannot process, it is not advisable for farmers to grow. That is the message they are giving. Can you believe this? The system wants to see that these local foods and wonderful food culture are all completely gone out of. In fact, if you remember, in 1990s, these so-called scientists kept telling groundnut oil, aflatoxins are there, coconut oil, cholesterol is there. All misinformation, scientific myths that they have been spreading. Niger seed oil, in fact, we have fed and cured hundreds of Buddhimandya Pillalu, ADHD, Attention Deficit Syndrome. Till now I didn't speak about this because this is the ultimate injustice that we are doing. Till now I spoke about cancer, the disease, diabetes, all that, and then I spoke young boys and girls losing their identity. There is no sperm count, there is no proper menstruation, so you have lost your identities. But the sad story doesn't end there. The embryo becoming baby itself, the CPU itself is screwed up. 100 kids are born, now we have 30 attention deficit hyperactive disease. It is called ADHD. In America, it is 30% now. In Japan, it is more. In China, it is worse. And we are not behind now. 2010 census say in India also 12% of kids are ADHD kids. It's all because what the mother and father are eating at the time of conception. And not only that, worse than that is there are kids born hole in the heart. Now 6 kids are born now hole in the heart. It's not the mind. Now the other parts are also being not made properly while they are being built in the womb. All these statistics are laughing at your face and we still do not want to accept. So, as I told you, we could correct DMD. These are the wonderful oils extracted naturally by bull-driven wooden ghanas. The same cholesterol people were talking about, if you take coconut oil, you have cholesterol. We have cured all the cholesterol, triglyceride fellows, making them drink 3 spoons of this early in the morning. You understand?
We have got olive oil in our canteen, sir.
Olive oil is not olive oil, sir. That is your diesel oil you are drinking. Where are olive trees on this planet to give you olive oil? Bangalore alone is taking, I believe, 10 lakh liters of olive oil. And to produce 10 lakh liters of olive oil, you need 3 kgs. 1 kilo of olive oil, you need 3 kilos of olive seeds. So that means 30 lakh seeds, kgs of seeds. And you go to Italy and all those places, search, you do not have enough trees. Forget about the olive stuff. So what you are drinking is the refined left out mineral oil with olive oil smell, olive color. That's all. And all your sunflower, sun pure, all these are all that only, your diesel. So in 1990s and 2000, they were actually adding half of this and half of the mineral oil. Now it is 95% mineral oil and remaining is chemicals. That's what is happening in industrial food culture. The same thing happened in milk. Milk, your cows, they give 1 liter milk or 1.5 liter milk. In fact, all the cows in the world are actually coming from India only. They take our cows, do genetic manipulation and so-called bioengineering and make each cow give 20 liters of milk, and then they export the technology to our country and we are all baffled. Wow! And then put machines and suck the wet and then make powder of it. And then take powder and make big industrial milk producing companies. Anyway, we have made powder milk, add some more things. You don't need cows also now. You add some more powder and make milk. And then you bring and give it to your babies because doctors are telling you have kid is lactose intolerant. Mother's milk it is not, other milk you can give. You see this drama? First of all, milk should not be given. That's what oil is. So we have screwed up everything. Water, for that matter. In fact, wherever I go, I carry my water. In fact, these persons, they wanted my bag to be taken away. Why are you carrying? No, sir, I have water. I have to. Because I do not know what water you are drinking. All plastic water, plastic water. All over the world, people are transporting everything in plastic. So I have in my house a copper plate like this. I put in mud pot overnight, and everyone knows 3D 4S transition, the free electrons are actually the bandwidth of the energy is very apt for water. H2O, the delta sigmoid hydrogen bonding, perfect. Many people mistake silver. Silver is not, it is 4S 5D. The transition is not good for water. So you want to purify water, it is only this. But then you can keep silver plates, it can kill viruses. And that's how you see most of our temples, garbhagodis, the walls are plated with silver. And in fact, if you go to Madikeri, Veerajpet, those sites, outside temples, walls and the things are all plated with copper. And of course, copper is cheaper than silver. You cannot afford silver plates. Rich fellows used to do that. Then now this is, even today it is 200 or 300 rupees. So you can bring all your distillery, all this RO water, alkaline water, all this nonsense. Last thing you want to do is put this copper plate in that water. And then all viruses, chemicals get tapped onto this. You can take a tamarind juice and clean, or lemon juice. Once a day you clean, you have wonderful water coming into your pot. That is structured water, because oxygen and hydrogen get structured because of moving electrons. This,
You mean to say raw water, whatever comes from the tap, I should collect it and put this...
yes, yes. And the only way you can get structured water in nature, which was way back. Way back means the water should flow from top to bottom, or in the river. When the water is flowing, the potential energy, the potential energy of the water becomes kinetic, then the oxygen and hydrogen get structured. And that's how flowing water is always clean, because it loses its unwanted stuff. Even the TDS does not cross beyond 200. And if you go down and get borewell water, you have TDS. That means it is not structured water. That's why it is very well written and clearly explained. Don't drink water which is not flowing. So when you bring and keep it in the house, you need to have this copper plate. So hundreds of years ago, our forefathers have told. This is the science of it. So any water, it doesn't matter. I want it to be touched by copper plate at least for 5-6 hours. And RO water, please never drink. Rainwater, don't drink. Because rainwater doesn't have any salts. So when you drink rainwater directly, your cells have certain salt concentration. So the imbalance is created. That's why RO water is dangerous. They are removing all salts, you are in danger. That's why water in the wells, top wells, 10-15 wells is okay. If it goes further down, it becomes unstructured water. So any water that has flown, jalapata, waterfalls, all that are okay. We can consume directly. But then if you have stored it in place, even if it is a pond, you don't want to drink directly. If it is flowing, you can drink. If it is falling, you can drink. Because it becomes structured. So you want structured water in your house, this is the only way. In fact, I used to. Because today is the only day I didn't bring, I used to have a copper plate inside, small copper plate. So if I travel 3-4 days, I have to clean my water, I put a copper plate here. So I'm happy you are putting in glass bottles, which is good, but everywhere I go, plastic bottles. Everywhere. It is the plastic companies that they want to sell their plastic, they have made the water to be sold in. We don't have any resistance, and that is the problem. See, for me it becomes a big pain to carry this. If everyone is drinking in this, I don't need to carry my water like this. So I am not sure whether you will give me water in steel or glass, I have to carry my water.
Sir, nowadays copper bottles also are...
No, copper bottles are not good for 2 reasons. One, you cannot clean properly. And if you don't clean, it becomes, you are having the dirt, accumulated dirt. So steel doesn't accumulate. It is neutral. So you can carry your water in this, but you can have a small plate which you have to clean daily. And bottle shape, you cannot clean copper bottle clearly. What you need to do is put tamarind water, allow it to stay for 12 hours or something like that. So when you are traveling, it is very difficult to do all that. So don't buy copper bottles. Copper bottles are not practical. Though copper bottle is good, practically they are not good. You can have a big copper vessel in your house with your 5 to 10 people you need to. Because copper vessel you can clean easily overnight. There is no problem. But bottles, practically impossible to clean them clearly. So if you have a copper plate, and that's why I tell people don't worry about copper vessel also, because it's very costly. A big copper vessel costs 10,000, 20,000 rupees. This will do the job. This can clean 20 liters of water. So a family of 3 or 4, you have 2 of these in 2 bottles, 2 vessels, you are done. So please clean your water and don't drink water outside, because all the water is dirty. They will say, clear crystal water, this advertisement, that Hemamali comes advertises, some fellow else. See, these advertisements are really fooling us. And everyone falls for it. That is the problem. Because it's a huge marketing designs. That's why I call this reality shows. Even doctors are, oh, I sit here and make my patient, oh, I have got cured, I have got cured. What nonsense is that? Am I taking mileage out of my cured patient? Exposing him? That's not right. Patient, doctor, privacy rules are all thrown to the window. You see, this is the problem with this marketing industrial food culture. This is the culture we are living in. A doctor and patient, no one should know that he has this disease. Why should he tell? Because I want to advertise for myself? Nonsense. That's not right. But because the culture has become like that, even Swamijis are advertising like that. Oh, I have become alright after going to this Swamiji. Oh, no, sure. What nonsense is that? Don't mistake me for saying these things. So that what I am trying to communicate is become, culturally we have become market-oriented, market-driven stuff. And a lot of things are personal. God, religion, so many things are personal. Why do you want to get it out? So this advertisement, marketing, this is what is driving us? No, a lot of other things are there. So the information has to be given free, not advertised. How are we going to be healthy has to be communicated person to person or large scale freely, not for money. But the sad story is these patent technologies are driving human beings into crazy fellows. Everything, oh, I have invented something, I have to patent. A drug is patented. Why the hell drug has to be patented? If it is healing people, you should give it free. Isn't it? But then we are being driven by market economy. This is the problem. Everything patent. Okay, defense, okay, patent. We don't want it to be going to the enemy's hands. We have invented, we want to keep it as a secret. I agree. But this is hell. Why do you want to sell it? And many people say, oh, you have discovered all. I have not discovered, they are there. In my time immemorial, they are there. But I am here standing and saying, this is this. Eat this, you are free of this. Eat this, free of this. Eat this. Eat 5 of these on separate days. Don't mix. Why? If you eat foxtail millet, your nerves and lungs are being cleaned day by day. If you eat koda millet, your blood and your bone marrow is completely clean. You eat korle, this is brown top. Your digestive canal from mouth to anus is cleaned. You eat barnyard, all your soft parts in the body, liver, spleen, mutrapinda, that is kidney, all these are cleaned. So, now if I mix all of them, multi-grain. Again, this is business. This flour mill fellows, whatever is mixed, now they want to sell that also. This is industrial scale. They are making tons and tons of it now, so nothing should go waste. So, this is good for you, this is good for you, this is, oh, all of them put together is very good for you. Science is not that. If you mix, you can eat only this much. That means your lung is not clean, your kidney is not clean, your blood is not clean, nothing is clean. It's like Chamundi, or Chamundi, Mysore. You have to climb 1,000 feet. Then you get appointment with Chamundi. But then when you eat together, what are you doing? You climbing 300 feet and coming back. 300 feet and coming back. So every day you climb 300. After 5 days you have climbed 1,500. But still Chamundi is not seen. You understand what I am talking? So you want to eat foxtail millet for 2 days or 3 days. You eat this for 3 days. You eat kodo, your blood, bone marrow, everything is clean. Then you eat this, your lungs and nerves are clean. So that's how we have figured out. When you have Buddhimandya, ADHD kids, we ask you to feed 3 days of foxtail millet and the remaining each one day. Because you need to clean other systems also. So you have blood cancer, we tell you eat kodo millet for 3 days and the remaining 1 day each. Along with it, we have also figured out what vegetables, what greens, what kashayams. So we did a lot of work from 1997, I came back until 2005. I did all this work diligently and we have accumulated all the information in form of a small booklet. So all kinds of, we have made a list of a table of 60 kinds of diseases. And then the kashayams that you need to take and the food that you need to take tablet for. This is a book in Kannada, Desi Ahara Sampurna Arogya. We call this Desi foods. That is the beauty of India. We have all these wonderful grains. In fact, if I had another 5 more years, I would get 5 more grains. Discover and then discover. We're not going to invent. They are there. They are already there. It is just that we have to study. In that direction only, this is till today no one has studied about brown top millet. I have done all the work. The table that you see, the nutritional table. First time I have figured out all this, and then 12.5% of the fiber. So why I have selected these 5 fibers? There is finger millet, there is bajra, pearl millet. If you see the fiber content of these 10 grains and then the carbohydrate, and if you divide, you get the ratio. Carbohydrate by fiber ratio. If it is in single digits, the glucose releasing capacity is slow and steady. If it becomes double digits, it releases glucose fast into your blood. So once it releases glucose fast into your blood, that means we have again the same problems. So the control of releasing glucose has to be in the food, not in your tablets. And that is the shift we have done. So everything is controlled by food that we eat. So if I eat 10 idlis of kodo millet, there is no glucose rush into my blood. So I don't feel mandavagi bindkondirbeku anta anisodilla. Because once there is glucose too much in your blood, it starts absorbing water from all the cells. So the cells become tired. That's why you want to. So if you eat 3 or 4 gulab jamuns, you will want to take a nap. You feel tired and, because there is instant release of glucose in your blood. Till that glucose is distributed into different forms, you cannot be active. But then you eat 10 idlis of arka or korle, nothing happens to you. You are still active because the glucose is not released. It holds. The blood is not flooded with glucose. And imagine, even if you lose after 5 years, the glucose comes into blood. Along with it comes fiber, which is soluble in water. So you have soluble fiber running around with glucose to see that it doesn't trouble you. This is the beauty of these grains, and that's what is called jhadu. So jhadu is always there, along with the energy molecule. So anything it creates, unwanted thing, this fellow takes it and then releases out. So we have soluble fiber, insoluble fiber. The insoluble fiber, what it does is the gate of going out, the anus and the rectum, it lines it up. See the beauty. Because it cannot go out, no? So from the mouth it goes and then lines up the large intestine and the rectum and the anus area. So the cleaning, the final cleaning, everything that goes through will be cleaned. So that's how you can shit easily. So when you change your food from rice and wheat to this, immediate benefit within 3 to 5 weeks is to see that you pass your motions easily. Of course, if you sit on the toilet, it will still be difficult. So start practicing Malasana. You may fall down 2-3 times. Don't practice in the toilet. Practice in the house, in the bed or place, neat place. It's very important. In fact, sitting like that, as I showed you, is very important because it centers your body in many different ways. I don't want you to go into yoga and other stuff because this is not a platform for that. So, but that is the connecting link for us. Because unless you shit properly, you are not going to be healthy. This has to be taught, sadly. In the olden days, no one used to. You go out and then you sit and it comes and then done. But now it's not the case. So that much I have to speak about Malasana is very important. And then you start eating these grains. What actually happens, as I told you, 7 years if you eat this, our whole body is replenished with the right materials without dirt. See, if you keep eating rice and wheat and egg and milk and this, your body also gets replenished. The cells are programmed to be different, to be new, but that new is not like new, not healthy. And that's why when people who are eating these grains, many tribals, even after 100 years, that fellow can continue to climb a tree. You understand what I'm talking about? Because the body is new. Every 7 years, it is still fit. That is the reason, scientific reason why a fellow whose food is plant-based and these grains, of course, till now no one has clearly worked and told this is this, this is this, this is. They have been there all along. And whoever have eaten these grains long time have been healthy. Period. No discussions on this. Period. No comma, full stop. Period. That means there are no two things about it. You want to be healthy, you got to eat this. Nothing else. And of course there are many half-baked, half-cooked. You eat only fruits, you eat only vegetables. All are bogus. You cannot survive on fruits and vegetables because of the simple reason that they are water. 95% of vegetables and fruits are water. So you want to fill your tummy, you want to get enough, you have to keep eating almost 8 to 12 kgs of this. So to produce 8 kilos per person of vegetables and fruits is humongous task. We cannot do that. In fact, most of us think fruits are meant for us. All these so-called spiritual people are to eat fruits, eat vegetables. That's not true and it's not scientific because fruits are not meant for you. They are meant for many other animals. And fruits are meant for seed distribution. Okay? And you should not eat because you do not distribute. You go and shit in the toilet, it gets killed. The logic of fruits and seeds is for animals and birds eat and just distribute all over. So, you can eat, partake fruits, but human race thinks everything that is there on the planet is for themselves. Fruits you eat when it gets, that means if you are walking, a fruit falls, that is for you. You understand what I mean? So don't think fruits are good for you. They are good for everyone actually, but they are not meant for. Because if you want to fill your tummies and the human race has to live on fruits, the planet would have been destroyed much before, because nothing else will come. Because you are shitting in the toilets like this. What I mean is, it's a natural cycle. If you eat fruit, you go and shit outside, then it's okay. Some of the seeds again regenerate. In fact, there is a tree called taraka. You know, have you heard? Taraka is one of the Tripala churnas. It grows 300 feet, 500 feet. And its seeds do not germinate at all unless eaten by a sheep or goat. So a sheep or goat eats, and then when it goes through its intestine, the seed coat is dissolved, and then it can germinate itself. Like this, there are wonderful connections in nature. Some birds have to eat some seeds, only then the tree can regenerate. So it's all cycle, wonderful cycle. So many people, oh, so you are eating fruit, is it not violence? No. The tree wants you to eat. The grain wants to be eaten so that you redistribute. So these grains, when you grow, thousands of birds come. Actually, I have taken up a barren land and made forest out of 7 acres. We have now 4 acres of forest in which we got leopards, bears coming in. In fact, 3 years ago, a tiger also visited our farm, our land. You can come, and we grow all these 30 to 40 kinds of food materials that are required for my family. And we eat this, we process this. That's what I meant when I said, you want health? Go to your kitchen. And one step beyond, go to the farm. So you want to be healthy, you want to concentrate on your kitchen and farms. So you want to be healthy, I will keep repeating. You want to go to your kitchen and your farms, not to hospitals and doctors. So doctors are the last people you want to go if you want to be healthy. I repeat, doctors are the last persons you want to go to if you want to be healthy. You want to go to your kitchen. I am not saying go to your wives, because now wives are ordering on Zomatos, and that's because you are the responsible person. We are changing, the culture is gone. In Bangalore, no one is cooking, all on the roads. These are the things that you want to avoid. So what I speak may look funny, but the most scientific thing that you can do in your life is to go back to your kitchens, get your food, know where it is coming from, how it is processed. All these things matter. I am trying to communicate to you people, take care of your lives, take things into your hands. Only then you can be healthy. And it cannot be done on large scale. So the whole system now, the whole world thinks we'll create hospitals, we'll create large scale. Now coronavirus, what vaccines can you get? I can give you a vaccine. If you were to be intelligent enough, what all you need to do is take these 7 leaves kashayams. In 14 days, you can be guaranteed no virus can hit you. Bermuda grass, Garica, basil, holy basil. Then you have Giloy leaves, that is Dinospora. Then you have again Bilva. Then you have Ogelia, Kanga. Then you have Ajataricta, neem. Then you have people. 7 leaves in the same order. In the same order because it is from the grass to a big Mahavruksha. In that order, the family of plant kingdom. And the antigenic properties. That means when you are drinking this kashaya, your body, your bone marrow recognizes the antigens and builds antibodies. Then you have Giloy leaves. From that, different kind of antigens, different antibodies. Like that, we have 7 of these providing us antigens so that our body is prepared already to manufacture the antibodies for any viral invasion. So you already know what kind of structure is going to hit us by taking these diversified leaves. That's why eating diversified foods always gives you the strength from within. So your food should be diversified, different kinds of food, different seasons, different vegetables, different leaves, and if and when you are in different places, eat different fruits if you are aware, if it is aware. But don't eat any fruit that is in the market. Everything is sprayed tons of chemicals. So if you are assured that the fruit is not sprayed with any chemical, you can eat all fruits. All fruits, including strawberry. Absolutely, sir. That's why I said don't eat any fruit unless you grow your fruit. Don't eat. Stop eating fruits. You don't lose anything. Looks awkward, no, when I say don't eat fruits. But many people don't eat fruit. I rather eat fruit. What fruit? What fruit you want to eat? Seasonal fruits if you grow. If a friend greets you with love and affection, oh, this I have grown, take it. You eat kiwi fruit, very good. Big articles are written in our media. We don't know where it is coming from, how many days it is in the ship, how much chemical they have sprayed. What nonsense are these guys talking about and writing about? All nutritionists, all certified nutritionists. This is bogus knowledge we are living on. So, apple is not good for you, guava is good for you. Because even now it grows on the streets, you just go and pluck, clean it up with copper structured water and heat. Sitapal is good because still they are not throwing chemicals on it. Don't eat pomegranate, it is completely chemicals. So please use your brain. See, fundamentally what I speak is totally different from many people. I am trying to communicate to you the rules of doing things. I am not asking you to eat only guava. If you are in Kashmir, you have in your backyard an apple tree. You have not sprayed anything, go and eat apple, it's good, no problem. I was in Canada. I saw a strawberry plant grows in cold very well. No chemicals, then you pluck and eat, no problem. I am not against strawberry, but I am against you eating strawberry ice cream in Chamarajanagar or Bangalore, Madhve. Now you go to any marriage, they are eating strawberry ice cream. I don't know where is it coming from. But we are all eating. This is nonsense. So your food has to be local, seasonal, all that things. That's Bhuta Ballavaniga. See how profound that statement is. See, it took me so much of rambling to get you into this zone of understanding what I am trying to communicate. I am 100% sure there is no one who disagrees with me. Theoretically. Practically, I agree there are a lot of problems. And that is our ingenuity to change this state of affairs. Now, a lot of, oh, it is not available, this is very costly, this is that, that is this. Yes, things are costly because no one is grown. Because the farmers were growing this, no one wanted it. That fellow, how long he will grow and just keeps waiting for you to buy? Unless you seek, he will not grow. In fact, that's how this disappeared from this planet. So when I came back in 1996, actually I came back in 95 to just survey whether these things are available or not. I roamed, I took 1 month off and went to different villages and figured, yeah, there is some existence of it. Then I came back completely, and then went and actually I got this brown top millet, very small amounts, just a fistful of it. then actually I grew them at least 4 seasons. I mean 4 rounds I have to grow and make it in large quantity, and then went into to a farmer, and he said, why should I grow this? I said, I want to grow in 5 acres. Then I bought all of it, then made a small machine to remove the thing, and that also we are telling, we need to tell farmers they can make their own grains. See, because the Hindu paper today comes up saying that processing it is difficult, so you don't need to grow. They want to still discourage us. The locals don't want us to eat what we want to eat. Because in the last 20 years I have been working, there is now everyone wants in Karnataka, but the Hindu paper, the main media wants to discourage. All these things are because we want to change the systems. And it sounds very logical, but all are looking at through the prism of economic model. I want you to shift from economic model to ecological model. So what I am speaking is an ecological model, because if all of us eat like this, we can save the planet. Because each kilo of this requires only 200 grams, or 200 liters of water. So against 50,000 liters of water per kilo, apart from all diseased conditions that this food culture is creating, just liter by liter, water, drop by drop, we can grow this. For 50,000 liters of water, I can grow. For 10,000, for 1,000 liters, I can grow 5 kilos. So almost 250 kilos of grain I can grow with 1 kilo of wheat. And each kilo, when you soak and cook, can feed 10 people this food. That means 250 kilos into 10. 2,500 people's food, 1 kilo wheat.
Sir, is this a similar way to cook how rice we are cooking?
Yes, you have to soak overnight and cook. You will get wonderful rice. You can make pulao, biryani. I don't mean biryani, vegetable biryani. You know, this biryani, there is a joke. This Ramjan, no? The Muslims are supposed to fast, but then actually they don't do. They do it otherwise. They eat in the night. Instead of eating in the morning, they eat in the night. And Bangalore, I believe, consumes 3 times more meat in that Ramzan month. That means average Bangalore consumes 10,000 kilos of, I forget the number. Per month, the Bangalore is consuming 500,000 ton, no, 10 lakh ton. I just forget the zeros, so it is confusing. Okay, say 10,000 kilos. In Ramzan, it consumes 30,000 kilos. It is only 12% of Bangalore is Muslims. How can they consume 3 times more? That means all the Hindus are also going and eating in the night. That means our cities have also become non-vegetarian. In fact, Karnataka was 38% non-vegetarian state when the census took in 1990. Now it is 71% non-vegetarian. Andhra, Telangana, 96% non-vegetarian. Kerala, it should have been the other way around. It should have been the other way around. So we should consciously struggle to travel the other way. And that should be the scientific way of living on this planet. So 2,500 people's food you are consuming in one nature's bounty. So if you give me 50,000 liters of water, I can provide food for 2,500 people. So many people say, how can you provide food for with these grains? They do not grow well. 1 acre, I can produce 8 to 12 quintals. And on this so-called agricultural front, the whole world is producing food on only 12% of the land because they can provide water only for 12%. And the remaining agricultural practices are all being used because of the groundwater. 48% of groundwater is completely out because of sugarcane, because of all this tobacco and things.
What type of soil is required for this?
Any soil you can grow, and that is the advantage. I can grow on mountainous places. In fact, you just remove your road, give me that place, I will grow.
Pesticides are
Absolutely zero requirement.
storing,
No,
storing,
storing.
pesticides and things required.
There is no need for any pesticides to store. If you don't remove the husk, you can store it for 7 years. No worm or no insects come there. All these 5 years. So no chemicals are required whatsoever at any stage. And if we grow this along with other oil seeds and other things, absolutely no chemicals requirement. We have made the model of, we have trained thousands of farmers in our bhumi. Even as we speak, we have standing crops to train farmers. We have been training farmers all along the last 10 years. So no chemical is required, no fertilizer is required, absolutely nothing is required, just 4 rains. So simple. And I can grow food for 70 billion people on this planet if we have the way. 70 billion, not 7 billions. So if and when we survive till the time we have 70 billion on people, I don't think we will survive because the way we are doing things, conducting ourselves on this planet. Because if Corona 1, Corona 2, Corona 3, then we are done. It's like Bahubali 1, Bahubali 2. I hope we will survive Corona 3 because we have the means and methods of surviving any such attacks because we internally can become immune to all these diseases. Then our food practices are scientific and right. Till today, no one had this complete understanding of food and how to be healthy. And I personally believe I am the first one talking things put together as a total holistic way of doing things in the realm of food, health, agriculture, environment. All these things are connected. They are not separated. So unless your agricultural practices are right, you cannot produce the right food. Unless the right food is there, you cannot have good health. So if you do not have good health, then the societies are fighting like this. So if you are having good health, your thought process, you will be steady. And the steadiness comes only when the glucose is released steadily into your blood. And that is the essence of these grains. So how can you be healthy with this food? Because the glucose gets released slowly and steadily in a balanced way. And the balance is health. And another way of looking at it, it creates the balance in your body, glucose balance, microbial balance, hormone balance.
So can you show the structure, how it is that millet and how the fiber?
Yeah.
So that
You have the rice. Rice has 0.2 grams of fiber. And everyone can download all these books. They are freely available PDF. Siridhanya.org. Siridhanya.org. It is there in Tamil, it is there in Hindi, it is there in English, it is there in Kannada, it is there. Malayalam we are working, sir. No, because he happens, he said he is Malayali, so that's what. we have not yet done. We are working. In fact, just I caught hold of my friend who is from Kerala. He agreed to translate.
Last time when you came, it was not there in English.
Yeah, it is now in English, it is there in Hindi, it is there in Tamil, it is there in Kannada. And in fact, we are translating into Bengali and other. We need to get the right person to do this job. That is the problem. But you have all that in sirijeevan.org. You can download all this. Not only that, you also got lot of videos speaking at different locations, different aspects of. I might not have covered all the aspects, but I believe I have covered almost everything. Oils and protein. Yeah, I have covered about it. Protein. Chocolate. That I have been telling for the last time. Amma? 5 times sitting. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾರು ಸಾಂಬಾರು ತವೆ ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ತಿನ್ಬೋದು. ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋವಾಗ ಈ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರಿಯಾ ಪಿಕಲ್ಸು ಬಾಟಲ್ಸು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿನ್ನಬೇಡಿ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ information is there in the sirijeevan.org. All these kinds of questions individuals ask and I have answered. Any question you have, you visit that. In fact, it is very beautifully laid out. Question and answers, lectures, information. Every page makers are there. You have to spend some time and visit that, and you get all the information. Earlier we used to print pamphlets and distribute. Now that we have technology and it's all free, you can just go there and download. And please help others who cannot download. And the one request from my side is, I want you to people talk about it, if not do anything else. Just keep talking about it. Because when I started this 15-20 years ago, people said, where do I get this? And it was not there. I used to tell them, go to the kaka shop and ask him, Navani, idiya? He will not give you. Just go back and ask him, Navani, idiya? 21 days you ask, 22nd day he will bring Navani. And it is, the problem for us is we live in a demand and supply thing. Unless you ask, you will not get. So you go to a shop and say, I want bull-driven Ghana oil. At least to start with, he will give you fake bull-driven Ghana oil. He will bring some oil and put it in a bottle and put some name and say this is bull-driven oil. But at least that must happen. You may still be getting your refined diesel oil only. But the change, we shift from that to this. And then at the end of the day, you will get the real bull-driven Ghana oils. Because bull-driven Ghanas have to be set up in villages. So this is all happening now, and I am very happy actually to communicate to you that we are trying to change the village. So beyond health, this Siridhanya movement has helped a lot of farmers. See, you understand now, 70% of Indian farmers depend on rain, and rain-fed products have been out of focus for the human race. So they were producing this actually for 40 years ago. Our Indian farmers were producing this. But no one wants there to buy because we all want to eat is pizza, burger, noodles and this. So unless you guys change, they cannot be alright. So you have to ask, I want brown top, I want barnyard, I want kodo. Then only that fellow can produce. Only if you produce, then the technologies will come. Now this Hindu fellow writes, instead of writing, we need to find processing technologies. He says, because they are not available, these are not good for you. You see the change we have to bring in? So we have to develop technologies such that the farmer can make this rice in his own house. We have done that. In fact, we have created a small mixie. He can make 20 kilos of rice in his house, working for 2-3 hours. So we are decentralizing everything.
So from moving from centralized industrial food culture to decentralized local and regional food production and distribution system. So beyond health, we are reinvigorating the village economy. In fact, we have got now 8 villages with 7 to 8 Ghana oils. The whole village is now lifted up economically. And we have these oils, in fact, Desiri is it's a wonderful story about this Desiri company. 3 software engineers left their jobs and then started producing Ghana oils. And I don't mean to say all software engineers should leave. It would be nice if they do, actually. Because we need a lot of oils, because we can cure all these ADHD kids. In fact, I had a case, 24-year-old girl, for the last 18 years, has been poking and pricking her parents with sharp needles and knives. They are not able to sleep because she has this propensity, it's called obsessive compulsive disease. Some people pull their hairs, some people take something and poke others. So she has this violent behavior. She takes anything sharp, she comes and pokes. So they cannot sleep. One has to be all the time awake because she doesn't know when she wakes up and does that. For the last 24 years, 18 years they were living. And all this so-called Nimhan's fellows could do is bring her, give her sleeping pill. And believe me, the sleeping pill does stop working for her long back. So even if they give her sleeping pills, 3 tablets, she doesn't sleep. No, nothing works on her. So what all they can do is tie her up with like prisoners, or someone has to be awake, see that nothing else. This is their life. But this is in Kerala. We have not still translated. Only after English book came, 8 months back they got this. And in Kerala it is very difficult to get this grades. Still they are not into this. So they managed to come and transport from our Mysore shop these oils, these Desiri oils, Desiri, Niger seed oil and coconut oil and sesame seed oil. They started giving her early in the morning 3 spoons. Within 6 weeks, she started sleeping in the night. Now it is 9 months. Now she is cooking food for their parents and then talking. So this kind of manasika vikaras, it's not just being dumb, they become other side called schizophrenic behaviors. Also can be completely helped. And we have designed protocols for each these kind of conditions. And for including schizophrenic conditions, we have been able to cure a lot of people. And the main intention and contention in schizophrenic people is, we want these schizophrenic people to sleep in darkness. Because I know for sure all our problems are coming from mind, and mind perceptions are due to light. If there is no light, the perception can go beyond light. So the real calmness comes being in darkness. And darkness biologically also produces wonderful chemicals like melatonin, which is actually basis for good sleep. And that is not produced if you are in the light. And that is the biggest problem the modern day world is facing. So you want to sleep, sleep in pitch dark rooms. But the other way around we are doing. We have tablets, we have phones, we have everything. We are disturbing our energy levels are so different in each room. We are screwing up ourselves. And there is the most unscientific thing to do is to have light in your room when you are sleeping. So make it pitch dark. Pitch dark means pitch dark. In fact, today I had a wonderful experience of simulation. So if you close eyes, nothing happens. You can do simulate whatever you want. In fact, someone he warned me that you will feel this. I said, I am aware of it. Once I am aware of it, nothing happens. Actually, to be frank with you, I didn't feel any simulation because I am aware of myself. In fact, he says he's tilting. I said nothing is tilting because I am aware of it. If our mind is calm, calm means what? You can negate the energy and the neurons do not fix. And that means you can produce melatonin whenever you want. So melatonin is not produced only when you are asleep, when you are calm. You can make yourself calm at any given point of time, and that is the process. And that is the beauty of human neurons. You can train them. And that's how we have figured out how to cure this schizophrenia. So you want to cure schizophrenia, keep them in dark for longer periods. Pitch darkness. So at least in the night, and I advise everyone, even if you are so-called healthy fellow, please sleep in dark, you will be a better person tomorrow morning. You understand all these issues? So all these biological systems do not work on just 3 dimensions. There are many dimensions to our existence. So we have manipulated our lives to fit into this industrial food culture, and that's where the diseases are coming from. So we have to release this bondage of this science and technology and all this nonsense and go back to nature and fit into nature. You will be fine. That's why I keep telling people, just get out of your comfort zone. The problem with all of us, we have designed ourselves to be in that comfort zone. And this discomfort zone we dislike. But that is what is actually required for you. Your body has to work. Your body has to feel these 5 elements, light, sound, all these things. And the training has to happen. And we have lost that training. So you train yourself, you will be all right. And all this has to happen in a particular systematic and scientific way. And in that, I am coming to last bit of my session, and I will close my session. The best thing you can do is get up with sun and sleep with sun. When sun rises, the first 7 minutes, it gives you the wonderful orange color light. And that's where good things begin in your body. And when you sleep, again when the sun goes down, the 7 minutes. So that is called kashaya, orange color. In Sanskrit, kashaya means the orange color. I don't mean wearing orange color and running around. That's not what I mean. Kashaya is the green leaves decoctions, and kashaya means that beautiful sunlight which is in that particular range. And our rods and cones are designed to receive, and all good things will fall in place. So you want to get up in the morning before sun rises and be out, drenching yourself in that sunlight, 7 minutes in the morning and evening 7 minutes. You will see enormous amount of changes in your body and health. So all these things put together, it's not just Siridhanya, decoctions, and not doing things unnaturally is the most important thing. So what is this natural living? Is to not to disturb nature, not to disturb nature. That means you have to become fewer, just very basic needs that you require. To the extent I have given you already a clue that don't go and cut your fruit. If it falls, and when you are walking, if it falls, that is for you. I mean, to that extent you have to become non-wanting. What? Just wanting, that's all that you need. So this is the way you design your life. You will be healthy, and all generations to come will be healthy. And we have lost this knowledge, we have lost this attitude, we have lost the information. So we need to build all these 3 stuff: information, attitude, and knowledge. And that's where our health depends for future generations. Thank you so much for being here.
We are grateful to you for sharing your valuable time and enriched knowledge to lead a healthy living. May I request Director to come on to the dais, please?
Unless the protocol says otherwise. This is defense lab. Ragi is there in the list. It is a neutral grain because it doesn't cure or heal the diseases. So don't think you eat ragi and you are going to be alright. No, you are not going to be alright. Because its ratio is double digits, the fiber to, and it cannot heal many diseases. It is better than rice and wheat, agreed. But if you are already sick, your diabetes, your cancer, it won't help you. So the three imbalances, microbial balance, hormone balance and glucose balance can be created by this, and how to make everything is written. Huh?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
When you come to oil, you say bull-driven cold press oil.
Yes.
How about machine-driven and metal-driven oil?
Yes, sir. This cold pressed is a misnomer again. So there is no cold pressed when you do it with machines, because the standard temperature and pressure rule is gone out of the window. It is not temperature, it is the pressure and temperature. That's what is actually called cold press. But in cold press definition is if you don't cross beyond 84 degree Fahrenheit, it is cold press. That's how they define. So the RPM you cannot get it down. If you want to get it down, you need to have the lever system and the gear system. And to get it to 1 or 2 RPM from any machine, it is humongous number of gears you need to add. So minimum of 4 to 8 lakh rupees you have to spend. But bull driven is so simple. Just tie 2 bulls and your bulls are also safe for 15-20 years. You can take care of them instead of sending it to slaughterhouse. So you get good oils every day. We are able to now give you to 12 to 15 liters. You can put it out if each bull works for 3 to 4 hours. So it's a win-win situation for us, and a family who takes care of bulls can be living. We pay around 500 rupees per day or so for the family that runs this. So when you get 12 liters, you pay some money, so the money goes to the village. So a lot of other issues are around. So if I put a machine, I'm again sending the money to a corporate world. So there's a lot of things like that. And there is nothing that can compare to bull-driven oil as far as healing capacity is concerned. Period. No discussion.
Even they say 2 degree temperature is more, that's all.
Yes, yes. So when the pressure increases, the 1 degree is like felt 10 degrees higher. So the extracted oil also has lost its ingredients, nutritional capacities are lost. So when you take it out, of course we heat the oil on the pan and all, but the pressure is not increased, no? So we can heat the oil to its boiling point, nothing happens actually. There are many people have mistaken this thing. If we heat the oil, it will go bad. No, oil doesn't go bad. When your pressure is high and then the heat generated, that is what is creating trouble. And especially metals, you will have cations and other things, then the different processes go on. Biochemical and photochemical reactions take place. And that's why we want oils to be in amber color bottles so that the photochemical reactions do not take place. And especially in plastic, absolute no-no. Absolute no-no. In fact, if you remember, olden days, our oils were actually stored in a pingani, that is our porcelain jadis. You understand? And they were very scientific. But we want convenience, and the industrial food culture, these plastic companies have driven us. Oh, these plastic fellows are too much, because they are asking you to make dosas on non-stick, and that non-stick material you are eating. After 5-6 months, you change the tawa. We have become so stupid. But non-stick pan is very convenient. So the whole world has now shifted to non-stick pans. We don't have the skillets of iron, you know. Oh, who will do all that work? This is where they have capitalized. The convenience they try to provide you through these technologies have driven away our minds and attitudes from the natural and healthy attitudes. See, the sickness is being sold to you, and we are buying it, lapping it up. And that is the sad story.
Thank you, Guruji.
Sir, 1 minute.
Yeah,
Sir, you are talking of Siridhanya, sir.
yeah.
So everybody starts consuming this, then it should be produced to some large scale.
Yes.
Then once more it will be happening like
In
that.
fact, my dream is the food should be free. It's possible with Siridhanya.
No, no,
You
that-
just allow it to grow. Everywhere it grows, you just go and get it. That's it. And that is possible.
on large scale it happens, then
Absolutely.
once more it will be.
You are absolutely right. And that's what we should aim for.
Thanks.
And actually this question should not arise. You are willing to pay for pizza 800. No one asks, no one says any question. When say foxtail is 100, all these media fellows are writing why it is 100 rupees. Oh, no, I have never seen anyone asking why pizza is 800.
Sir, I have two small questions. Sir, many of these millet shops also have something called proso millet. How
Yeah.
good is
Proso is, yeah, we have
That is
that.
my first question.
It's not very good because its fiber content is 2.2 and the ratio of fiber to carbohydrate is 31%. What it means, 31? That means it cannot cure diseases.
Okay. So second question, you said milk should not be taken.
Yes.
What is your view about curd and ghee?
This I have explained. The non-vegetarian milk becomes vegetarian buttermilk because lactobacillus comes in and transforms it through fermentation process. And in nature, everything is like that. Non-vegetarian becomes vegetarian through microbes and vegetarian becomes non-vegetarian through microbes. In our tummy, when you eat all this vegetarian food, because the microbes are there, they produce vitamin B12 and some amino acids and make your meat. So it is the process of converting non-vegetarian to vegetarian. This is being projected in many religious texts like Guru Nanak says lacto-vegetarian is okay, lassi is okay, doodh acha nahi hai. Understand? And our Krishna, our Lord Krishna, he stole butter, not milk. See, he is not a milk stealer, he only stole butter. So butter is after fermentation. And everything has to go through. If I die, I put it on the soil. I go through fermentation process through microbes. Different microbes, different stages, so you become carbon dioxide. That's also called mineralization. So any fermentation process in between makes it vegetarian. So all vegetarian foods, the fungus also does, the yeast. That's why idli is better than normal rice. And that's the beauty of our culture. We have been introduced to fermented foods in all parts of our India. Idli, dosa, ganji, ambali, all this. So you want to bring back microbial balance, you want to eat these microbial products. At least idli, dosa are microbial products. Ambali, I have explained in many places, really gives you the microbes themselves into your tummy. All that I have explained in many of my lectures.
Okay, thank you, sir.
May I request Director to present a token of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Khadar, please?
Yeah, I think I have to thank again all of you and the person responsible for me to come here, Sir Ramakrishna.
Ramaprasad.
Ram Prasad and of course the director himself to have made this happen. Thank you all. Thank you.